Before I start this video, I just want to say that I know that Annewithani was cancelled. I am still making the season 4 wish list because I want to. Before I receive any comments saying that the show is cancelled, I understand. I know. We're still gonna do this. It's fine. Hey guys, it's me, 1239 here, and finally, after over a year of the show being cancelled, I am making this wish list video. Yay! This is a long time coming. So basically, I will be explaining everything that I wanted to see happen in season 4. Unfortunately, we didn't get it, but let's just pretend for just this video that season 4 hasn't come out yet and it's about to. Let's pretend, please. I did make a video of my season 2 wish list and my season 3 wish list. They are very old videos. I'll link them in the description box below if you guys are interested to see what I got right and what I got wrong. As usual, before we get started, I just want to say that if you guys are interested in buying these postcards that are from the anime series of Anne of Green Gables, they come from the shop Nemorang or Nemorang, and I asked for a 10% discount for my viewers. The discount code is LOVEANN. You can find it in the description box below under Etsy recommendations. You can click the link in the description box. It'll take you to the shop and the discount code will already be applied at checkout. This is not sponsored. I am just an affiliate. I do make a small commission after you purchase anything from the shop. Anyway, now let's get started. I wrote this list very quickly just because I already knew what I wanted to see from season 4, and it's in no particular order. I'm just going to be numbering them off. Just keep that in mind. Number 1, Coquette's storyline. It's so interesting that the show ended with basically Anne going off to college and not leaving, but I mean like moving on from her life in Avonlea. And that included Coquette in a way, even though she did promise she would write the letter, I think, to the government or something like that, but we never got to see that. We probably would have seen that fulfilled in season 4. I imagine Anne would have came home to Green Gables. She would have tried to get into contact with Aluk and Okwanuk, who are Coquette's parents, and she would have tried to help again in some shape or form. I wonder what would have happened like in season 4 with this storyline. I'm sure they would have done something. I'm sure they would have continued, just because every other like marginalized community in this show has gotten some sort of resolution or happy ending in a way, even though things do not necessarily get better or really improve for these groups of people. But with Coquette, we didn't get to see like her resilience besides her like escaping. It's a really complicated situation because of the fact that the show was cancelled. We didn't really get a definitive answer to Coquette's storyline. I'm pretty sure that they would have continued that in season 4. Number 2, Lily the maid. I don't know if you guys knew about this, but basically they casted the actress, to play Lily the maid in the season 3 finale, right? The casting call for this role said that she would be in season 4. So season 4 was supposed to happen in the writer's mind. She would have been in season 4, and that kind of confirms that they were planning for season 4. Obviously, Moira, the showrunner, said that she was planning for a 5-season story arc. So we probably would have seen Anne and Gilbert get married in that time as well, or engaged. So Lily was supposed to appear in season 4, and we didn't get that, but I would have loved to have seen that. And what's really interesting about the fact that her name is Lily and she's a maid is that I think it's a callback or a reference. It's a reference to the Lily maid scene, right? From the book and from the 80s version and all that stuff. We love to see it. Number 3, Jerry and Diana. If you have known me at all in these past 4 years that I've been making Anne videos, you would know that I never shipped Jerry and Diana. Even when they alluded to the couple in season 2 and they had their like little moment, I never shipped them. I shipped Jerry with Ruby and I shipped Diana with Charlie. That was just my feeling. I don't know. I thought that they would have been cute together, those two pairs, rather than what we got. I thought Diana and Charlie had nice banter when we first meet Charlie in season 1. And I thought that Jerry was kind of interested in Ruby in season 1, episode 4. It kind of looked that way to me until a few other people, right? So I didn't think that they were a good idea. I don't know. It is an interesting dynamic to see Jerry, this farm boy, and Diana, this rich girl, right? And how their worlds kind of mesh together, and to see that class tension build up between them, but it didn't work out. I mean, I guess that is like a lesson that not all relationships work out. They haven't been in the same room since they broke up. I didn't like the way that Diana acted, especially towards Jerry, but also towards Anne, because she didn't want to confide in her friend and she was kind of keeping this from everyone, especially Anne, which I don't know why she was doing. And that made me like Diana less, and I felt bad for Jerry. So let's word this differently. I don't think I would have liked for them to get back together in season 4, but for them to at least talk it out, you know, and be in good terms. I forgot to mention Fred Wright, who is Diana's future husband in the book series. Would have been interesting to see him in the show. Not that he had to come in. Maybe that's what they were leading to. She wasn't supposed to be with Jerry because she does actually end up with Fred Wright. Number 4, Ruby and Moody. I think this is such an interesting couple. I didn't expect them to get together, honestly. Like, I think the first time I actually realized that they were going to put them together was in the dance scene in season 3, episode 5, the rehearsal. I just saw it kind of like coming together, right? When Moody got his leg injured and then Ruby didn't want to dance with any of the boys, so she just didn't dance, and then she started looking at Moody in a different way when he was playing the banjo. Yeah, I didn't really see it before then until it was like obvious. I like them together. Of course, I would have liked Ruby and Jerry more, but I didn't really mind them when I saw that they were like good for each other. I don't know. Ruby's very emotional. I think Moody is very sensitive as well and compassionate. It works. I guess I would have loved to have seen their relationship develop in season 4 into a mature relationship. Number 5, Charlie. Now I have a question. Does Charlie go to Queens? Like, I don't remember, and I'm not gonna watch the episode right now. Did he go to Queens? Because I think Moody does. I don't know about Charlie. I would have loved to have seen what he ends up doing. I hope he did. That's all I'm going to say. Number 6, Billy. It's not that I would have liked to have seen Billy have a redemption arc, but I think I would have liked to have seen where his like negative personality and just like overall disgusting behavior comes from. Like, I'm sure it probably came from his father. I feel like we were starting to see him become a better person, even though it's very low standards by the end of season 2 when he didn't kill the fox. And then we just kind of like went back to the dark side and he SA'd Josie. So it's like, where was he going after that? Like, where would he have ended up? I would have liked to have seen him in season 4 and see what his future would have been like. Number 7, Michael and overall the Cuthberts, Matthew and Marilla. I don't think we were ever told how Michael passed away. I was expecting to see flashbacks of Matthew and Marilla when they were children again in season 3, but we didn't get to. I know that the story is supposed to be like moving forward and being more like optimistic, I guess. You can tell in the cinematography. You can compare it from season 1 to season 3. The cinematography is much more optimistic by the end of season 3. I feel like the whole Michael storyline would have been a good thing to explore, like further into Marilla and Matthew's lives. And there is a book called Marilla of Green Gables, which I haven't read yet, but I know it deals a lot with Marilla and John Blythe. I think it's so fascinating to see things that we didn't get to see in the book, their backstory, and how this book, Marilla of Green Gables, is like a prequel to before Anne came, but from the point of view of Marilla. Number 8, Matthew. Specifically Matthew, because we didn't get to see him pass away at the end of the show, which is how he is supposed to go. This show and the 1934 version are the only 2 versions that I've seen where Matthew doesn't pass away at the end. They probably were going to kill him off towards the end of the intended season 5 arc. Yeah, that's kind of difficult to grasp, but at the same time, I would have not like to have seen that, that's morbid, but I think in a way it's necessary. The theme of grief is so important in the show, and they could have given us more of that with Matthew's passing away. The angle might look a little different right now because I had to stop the recording and then restart it because this camera doesn't allow for me to record for more than 30 minutes. And when I stopped the recording, I started again and I thought I actually did start it again and I didn't. And so I said a bunch of things that didn't record. So I gotta start again. And so yeah. Anyway, all this to say, number 9, Gilbert and Anne. I'm gonna try to say the same thing I just said like 20 minutes ago. I'm curious to see what Anne and Gilbert would have been like as a couple, because we didn't really get to see that. We know that they liked kissing a lot. That's pretty much it. I would have loved to have seen Anne go visit Gilbert in Toronto and Gilbert visit Anne in Queen's Academy, them writing letters to each other, because Slow Burn was pretty much thrown out the window in terms of their relationship in comparison to the book. I wonder if they would have gotten engaged in season 4 and then in season 5 they would have gotten married and started their family as well as their careers. Again, if you know me at all, you know that I didn't want them to kiss at the end of season 3. I wanted them to wait until maybe season 4 or 5, but obviously with the cancellation, I'm okay with it now. Like, I'm pretty much okay with it because it's better than not having them be together at all, ever, in this show. Now with Roy Gardner, it would have been interesting to see Roy Gardner in the mix in season 4, perhaps. If you guys don't know, I haven't read the books. I'm sure some of you guys haven't read the books. I've been told this stuff. Roy Gardner is an essential character in Anne's realization that she is actually in love with Gilbert in the books. I don't know how that would have worked out in the show. Maybe Anne would have broken up with Gilbert and then later started dating Roy Gardner, and then she would have realized that she actually does love Gilbert, and then they would have gone back together. I'd have heard that the Roy Gardner character was already kind of embodied in Winifred. I don't really understand how the two characters correlate, so if any of you guys know, let me know in the comments below because I'm curious. Charlie as a character wasn't really a threat to their relationship, but Winifred definitely was. If you guys want to draw comparisons, definitely do that in the comments below. And let's move on. Number 10, Mr. Phillips. I think it would have been interesting to see Gilbert bump into Mr. Phillips in Toronto. Would Mr. Phillips still be the bad guy? Would he have changed? Would he have accepted himself? Because we didn't really get a resolution with his character. Number 11, Cole and Aunt Jo. Cole was one of my favorite characters in the show. I was sad that we didn't get to see him that much in season 3. We did get to see him in the major plot in season 3 episode 2 with Anne going to the orphanage and she seeks out Cole and they go together. That was nice, but after that we only saw him in like 2 other scenes in season 3. A lot of people, including myself, would have loved to have seen him find a boyfriend and have Aunt Josephine guide him and teach him about self-love and acceptance and teach him to exhibit his creativity in his art. That's something I would have loved to have seen in season 4. These two characters are definitely like kindred spirits in the show. And I'm sure Anne would have like gone to have visited them more often in season 4 because they live in Charlottetown. It would have been really lovely to see them more in the show. Number 12, Bash and Delphine, and in addition, Miss Stacy, and also Hazel. But let's talk about Bash and Miss Stacy first. This is kind of another big cliffhanger in the show, like what would have happened to Bash and Miss Stacy. It really does seem like they were alluding to them in the future forming a romantic relationship, and Miss Stacy could have started her family with Bash. It would have been nice. I don't know, it would have been really nice. We could have seen Delphine grow up. It would have been cute. Oh my god. Because Bash has gone through so much in the show. And Miss Stacy, losing her husband, Bash losing his wife. I mean, it was a perfect match. And I love that Hazel came to accept Bash and she formed part of his family. She formed part of his life for the first time, probably. And on that note, number 13, Elijah. I love his redemption arc. I really didn't like him in the beginning of season 3 just because of the way he treated Mary. But then by the end of the season, I really cared for him and I wanted him to become a part of the family. And it's really tragic that it had to get to the point of Mary passing away for him to realize that. It was really sad. But then when he looks at Delphine and he carries her in that last shot, in that last moment that we see of him, that was so cute. That was so beautiful. I wonder what we would have seen of Elijah in season 4, but I definitely wanted to see more of him for sure. Number 14, the girls. Of course, the girls meaning Ruby, Anne, Diana, Josie, Tilly, and Jane. I can't even imagine the kind of antics that these girls would have gone into in college. College is such a time to explore. I'm sure they would have had a lot of arguments, I guess, just because it happens when you're rooming with someone. I would have loved to have seen each of the girls form their own storylines, we didn't really get to see that much of Tilly and Jane. We didn't really get to learn that much about them. We got to know a bit more of Jane than we did of Tilly. I would have loved to have seen Tilly develop in season 4 as well as Jane and the other girls. I'm sure that they would have had a lot of fun filming those scenes. University/college storylines are so much fun to watch, and I'm sure a lot of people would have related to them. I definitely would have related, given that I'm still in university. I'm really hoping that I'm getting these numbers right, by the way, but number 15, Prissy. She was absolutely one of my favorite characters in season 3. I feel like I see so much of myself in her, just because I feel like college/university really does expand your horizons. I just love how she was not really that important in season 1. We didn't know that much about her, but by season 3, she had her own personality and her own strengths. And season 2, that scene where she leaves the wedding is so... I felt what she felt in that moment. She felt so liberated. Oh my god, it was so good. And I feel like in season 3 we got more of her taking charge of her own life, and it was so empowering. She's one of the most empowering women in the show, in my opinion. I would have loved to have seen more of Prissy in season 4. She could have came to visit and coach the girls and kind of spill the tea on what college is like to them. She could have taken them out to places and stuff. I don't know, it would have been really cool. Number 16, and this is the final point in my my wish list. Rachel Lind. I love Rachel so much. And unfortunately in the season finale, we didn't get to see her at all. We did get like a resolution to her story arc. Like she learned to be more of a feminist. She learned to stand up for herself, even though that wasn't really a problem for her. But I think she started to change. And I think she started to see the point of view of Anne, especially. Like she came to understand Anne more when she saw the way she was being mistreated by the board. I also think she still had a lot to grow. I don't know. She's one of my favorite characters and she's obviously a sass queen. We love her. I'm sure that we would have seen even more character growth from her and it would have been amazing. I think that's the end of my list. Oh my god. It feels so cathartic just to talk about my thoughts on what could have happened in season 4, just because we might never get it, but at the same time we might, and this video might be useful someday, hopefully. And I know a lot of you guys are always commenting in my comment section, letting me know what you wanted to see in season 4, especially with Coquette and the residential schools. These are my overall thoughts on what I would have liked to have seen in season 4. I did ask you guys on Instagram to let me know what you guys would have liked to have seen, and I'm gonna read some of them. Mary comes back to life. Guess Avonlea's ready for vampires. Yes, we would have loved to have seen a crossover between Annewithani and Twilight. That would have been iconic. Philippa Gordon. I think she's a character in the book, and I'm not really sure her role. I will find out one day. Gilbert and Anne engagement, please. Anne in pants. The girls experiencing college. Anne experiencing things independently. Gilbert and Anne getting married. Exploration of other races, ethnicities, religions, etc. I think that's a great point. Anne being a Boston University, yes. Phil, she was so great in the books. Elijah started living with them if I remember right. I want to see his relationship with Delphine. Same. Will Diana and Jerry make up? Good question. What does Coquette become? The girls doing sign language with the maid Lily and Anne mastering it. Fred right. Gilbert needs more friends his age. Oh my god. Yes. Oh my god.
Hi, I'm Jacob Horsley and I play Charlie Sloan, who is the best friend of Gilbert Blythe.
Charlie was supposed to be his friend. I don't know if you guys knew that. Like his best friend. Where was that? Where? Anyway, Sherbert proposal. Megan follows as Emily Oak. Who's Emily Oak? No, Emily Starr is from Emily of New Moon. I don't know who Emily Oak is, but I would have loved to have seen Megan in the show. Like, I always wanted her to play Miss Stacy or someone like that. That would have been really cool. Anne and Gilbert attending a real dance ball, aka one of Aunt Jo's soirees. I think it's soirees. Wow. Can you imagine, like, Gilbert in a flower crown? Oh my god. Oh, them dancing. Iconic. Sherbert rain kiss. I've heard of this a lot, actually, from the fandom, and I know that people have done fan art of that. More soft Sherbert moments. Yes. For sure. More Cole with his boyfriend. Yes, absolutely. What's happened with Winifred? Interesting. I never thought about that. Matthew and Ruby not die. I completely forgot to mention that when I was talking about Ruby, but like, Ruby dies in the book when she's 19. I'm not sure if the writers would have gone down that path with Ruby. Probably Matthew, but I'm not sure about Ruby. It would have been a tragical romance and all. I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm not really sure if that would have happened. But you never know. I mean, Mary died. They literally killed off Mary. So you never know. Alright, that's the end of my video. That's the end of my wishlist video. Let me know in the comments below what your wishlist is for season 4. Even though the show has been cancelled and has not been confirmed to be renewed, I still wanted to make this wishlist video. I'm basically going to be shouting out the people that either retweeted or shared my last video on their story. Here we go. Annewithani LA, Smile for Blythe, and with 528548993, pensitive.ann, Bina_puddle, a scope to imagine, febblue03, xi Martina 11. I don't know how to say this one, I'm sorry. A pen start JE21, lavender minty _x. Thank you so much to those people for shouting out my video. If you would like to receive a shout out in my next video, all you have to do is retweet my tweet about this video on my Twitter, or you can reshare my post about this video on your Instagram story, and that's all you have to do. On Instagram, I would prefer that you tag me just so that I can keep track of everyone that has shouted out my video on their story, because Instagram stories go away after 24 hours. Subscribe to my channel if you guys want. We are so close to 14,000 subscribers. I can't. I really can't. Every day for the last week, I've been getting people who have just discovered my channel, and it's been great just to see so many people come here and join the family, I guess. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed yet, I make content about Annewithani. I've been doing it for almost 4 years now. I talk about renewal updates. I have reacted to the show before. I've met cast members. I've done story times about meeting cast members. I've done so many videos about Anne. I also have a channel membership now. Thank you so much to Raster for being my first ever channel member. If you guys would like to be a channel member, there is a join button that will be below this video. I do have some Anne themed tiers and perks, and yeah, if you guys are interested, check that out. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for always watching. Mwah. I will see you guys in a new video soon. Bye. Mwah.